welcome to my channel. My name is Raphael. Today I am talking about Deergha Swasam Pranayama. Deergha in Sanskrit means complete, full, deep, and Swasam, to be honest, I don't really know what it means. I did look it up, but I can't really find anything that is concrete, but I'm assuming it's referring also to the breath. If you do know, don't hesitate to let me know. So in English it translates into three-part breathing for the three parts that we are connecting as we do the practice, or also deep breathing or complete breath, due to the fact that the intention is to use the full lung capacity. In the day-to-day basis, we tend to use 30% of our lung capacity, as we tend to breathe more in the top of the lungs, which leaves for a very shallow way of breathing. So with Deergha Swasam breath, we're inviting more air into the lungs. One of the other benefits as we practice this, when it's practiced seated, it's also in promoting good posture, as it invites to lengthen the spine, opens the chest, and to relax the shoulders down. So in opposite, then we're correcting bad posture, which we tend to, most of us tend to have hunched shoulders, a rounded upper back, as we do a lot of activities, forward bending. It could be working on the computer or driving a lot, whatever it is that we do on a day-to-day basis. And when it accumulates, then it begins to have to affect the muscles, and muscles in the chest tightening up, and there's less space then in the lungs to really take in more air, which is also why we breathe 30% of our lung capacity. When the chest is open, the shoulders are released back and down, then of course we can bring more oxygen into our lungs. One of the other benefits, and there are many, I'm just mentioning a few, during this practice, when we breathe consciously and mindfully, we're stimulating the vagus nerve, which runs from the brain through the lungs and the heart and down to the abdomen. And the vagus nerve is responsible for the healthy functioning of the parasympathetic system, which is the involuntary nervous system responsible for the production of the stress hormone cortisol. So when we slowing down the breath, we're helping to lower the production of this stress hormone. We do need a little bit of stress in our day-to-day life. It is healthy, but when it becomes constant, something that is day in, day out, then it begins to really have some negative effects on the physical body and our mind. So breathing, Deergha Swasam breath invites to calm the body, calm the mind, and just improving our sense of general well-being. The other benefit is that we're strengthening the main muscle involved in the respiration, which is the diaphragm, which sits between the lungs and the stomach. And like any muscles, if it's not used efficiently or not often enough, then it loses its strength. So when we're breathing consciously in three parts, we're strengthening the muscles, and in turn also strengthening our lungs, which is always a good thing. Our breath is what carries us from the day we are born to the day we leave this planet. So it is an important part of our being. Essentially, that's what makes us. That's what makes us alive. So when we bring consciously, really improving the lung capacity, the amount of oxygen, prana, life force that runs through us. I will demonstrate and practice seated. You could also use a chair to keep the spine upright, to help keeping the spine upright. If you have lower back problem and sitting upright for a little while is uncomfortable, you could also practice this lying down, which is also nice at the beginning, if you're new to Deergha Swasam breath, to take away the worry of the posture and lying down, and really focusing on the three parts and joining the three parts together. So find a comfortable seat. It could be cross-legged, or it could be kneeling down with the knees and sitting on your heels, the knees together. If you are sitting cross-legged, I always recommend to use a cushion to lift the sit bones and the hips a little bit higher, so you find a stable base from which you can lengthen from, already inviting the spine to be long Again, that spaciousness in the front of the body. Rest your hands on your knees. Close your eyes to bring your awareness within. And take a moment to notice how your breath is in this moment in time. The quality of each inhale and exhale without changing its rhythm for now, simply observing, coming into your own attention. Soften your facial muscles. Wherever you are, exhale fully. As you inhale, begin to expand the lower abdomen outward. Exhale, gently pull the abdominal muscles in, empty your lungs. And again, inhaling, the lower abdomen expands, and also the lower back and the sides that connect the lower back to the lower abdomen. So expanding in all directions. And exhaling, gently pull the abdomen in, contracting the muscles around the core to empty the lungs. And continue with this rhythm, inhaling and exhaling into the lower part of your upper body. Now we add the second part of this practice. Inhale, begin with the lower abdomen, the lower back expanding, taking the breath a little bit higher into the rib cage and the middle back. Exhaling, the rib cage contracts slightly, then the belly button moves inward towards the spine. Inhaling, belly expands first, then the rib cage. Exhale, rib cage relaxes, then the abdomen. Do a few more rounds. When you inhale, feel the intercostal muscles between the ribs stretching, expanding, making room for the lungs to expand. And exhale, the intercostal muscles contract, beginning to invite the air out. Then the belly button moves in. And again. Perhaps already noticing the calmness coming in with each breath, soothing the nervous system. Third and final part of Deergha Swasam breath. Your next inhalation, feel the lower abdomen first, then the rib cage expands, and finally the upper chest lifts, the collarbone slightly rising. Exhale, lower down the chest, the rib cage comes in, then the lower abdomen. And again, inhaling in 3 parts, expanding the belly, lower back and the sides, then the rib cage, middle back and the sides, and finally the upper chest, upper back, and maybe feeling the shoulders also slightly lifting. Exhaling in 3 parts, first upper chest, gently comes down, the rib cage comes in, and the belly. Inhaling from bottom to top. And exhaling from top to bottom. Keep going at your own pace. Trying to connect to the breath, the movement, the three parts, as fluidly and smoothly as possible. If this feels challenging at first, you could also do this practice placing the right palm onto your lower abdomen. Then the left palm onto your chest, your heart center. So you can get a sense, a feeling of the breath moving. Inhaling into the right palm first, the belly expands, then the rib cage, and finally taking the breath higher into your left palm. Upper chest lifts. When you exhale, feel the left palm coming in, the rib cage contracting slightly, and finally the right palm moving in. Take a few more cycles of breath this way. Visualizing your breath moving like a wave up and down your upper body, up and down your spine, soothing all those nerve connections in the spinal column, in the vertebrae. Take one more inhale and exhale. Return to your natural breath. Keep your hands onto your belly and your heart center for a moment. Noticing, enjoying the warmth coming from your hands as you observe any changes, sensations into the way you breathe naturally now as opposed to the beginning of the practice. Maybe feeling more expansion, spaciousness, and calmness. Return your palms onto your knees. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, open your eyes. This was the practice of Deergha Swasam, just sharing some tips and insight from my own practice. I will be making other videos about other pranayama practice, breathing techniques. I hope this was helpful and that it brought a little bit of calmness and peacefulness into your day. Thank you for watching, and until next time, I wish you a beautiful day.